your video there, right there.
This is your video. You
This
saw
is his.
This is what you saw.
This is just standing out when we weren't quite that scared yet, but the debris was flying, and then we got into the car.
Yes. Wow. And that's from inside the car.
Yeah, that's from inside the car. We were ducked down, my eyes were closed, and we were just...
Look at the debris. You must have been terrified at that point.
And people were screaming. There's people by that trailer, like ducked down under the trailer, and there's people in porta potties right next, and just... It was really intense. I'm still just amped up.
Look at it. Yeah. You can see the power of the wind.
That's after it got out and we got out of the car.
And that is as it was moving around.
Look at that. Yeah, that was...
What did...
Here's the
roll your tape. Here we go.
Yeah, this is from the top of the building. I had run up there, and you could actually see the debris starting to rise from downtown. At this point, you can see the twirling start to begin as it went down. I just felt completely terrified. I just didn't expect this to happen in Salt Lake.
We've certainly not seen it before.
So
Yeah.
Steve, your place is east of downtown?
Yeah, it's up by the University of Utah.
Okay.
And I saw the rotation begin a little bit before this, and I had seen things on the Discovery Channel with storm chasers and things like that, and I thought maybe something could actually happen. So I went and grabbed the camera, and it looked like a tornado that you see on the Discovery Channel as the debris started to rise and everything. And then I was really worried because my wife was in the temple right down there.
I see. Have you heard from her yet?
No, I want to run over there, but the police won't let you go. They
have blocked off numerous streets here in the downtown area.
Absolutely.
Steve, could you hear anything at this point coming out of any sounds from this tornado coming?
I could hear a lot of lightning around me, and I started to feel a pretty strong wind at this point, and there was also an electrical charge starting to fill the air. And after a few seconds after this, I decided it'd probably be a good idea to get off the roof.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
That was very, very ominous, but quite amazing.
Well, you could see the beginnings of a funnel cloud there a few seconds ago, and it didn't look like it quite touched down, but I guess obviously the wind was high enough to...
Yeah, if you look right there in
look at
that
the
spot, you can see the debris starting to rise. It was a really good formation meteorologically, you know, but coming up against the hillside, it finally dissipated away. Thank goodness we have these mountains.
I was going to ask you, how long did it remain that way? It just passed up through Capitol Hill and then dissipated pretty much?
Yeah, it passed up through Capitol Hill and went up over the avenues and then just turned a lot thinner. And there's
From the 9th floor of the Joseph Smith Memorial Building, and here we go. You saw that big explosion, and then it is just about over the Delta Center there. You can hear people commenting in the background, and then watch the hotel.
Oh my gosh, look at the tents. They're going to be gone.
Look at that.
Oh, it's ripping
breaking
the tent
apart
apart.
the temple. Oh my gosh, we're not supposed to be by the window.
As it makes its path, you can see those flares, and those are, of course, power lines down. We've had reports as many as 20,000 people in the downtown area are without power. Making its way behind the temple, that would be West Temple, and across to the construction area of the new assembly building, where a crane, I think you can see that being toppled, one of the cranes anyway.
Debris right now that they don't know about. Again, did you see that big explosion over in the lower left-hand corner of your screen?
Cyclonic rotation around that as well. I mean,
This is the storm as it came in shortly before 1 o'clock, the tornado that ripped through downtown.
You're looking at an F2 tornado.
And an F2 means winds
in excess of 112 miles an hour.
Okay, and again, as we've just confirmed, this is the worst tornado in recorded history in the state of Utah. Hit our state. I want to show it to you again as it hit about 5 till 1. We showed you where it hit, how it hit. We showed you the damage. We told you some of the stories. We showed you the pattern. Look at all the debris flying there. Wow. And we have crews out all over the area, and we want to continue our live coverage in a non-structured form, so we don't have to stick by the rules of the newscast where you do news, sports, and weather. We just want to bring you the latest as we get the latest. So what we want to do right now is go to David Northfield.
And cleanup crews out there working right now. Any risk?
Watch this coming in again.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, we have so many different shots of when it does come in.
Look at that. You can still see, though, the counterclockwise rotation.
What an ominous, incredible, powerful thing to watch.
That's exactly right.
And
This is,
such a
again,
freak. I mean, this is the only time this has happened in 152 years here.
Well, the governor was saying today that having a tornado hit a major metropolitan area is so incredibly rare.
That's right. We've had them hit small areas, even small towns or portions of towns,
There you
but
see it coming
never
right
downtown in
right
a huge
into
metropolitan
downtown.
area. There it goes.
What good video.
Unbelievable to watch it happen. You were going to say, Kimberly?
I'm just curious, Clayton, any risk of severe thunderstorms? We know that the tornadoes have passed Salt Lake, but what about for those folks who are out working right now? They're racing against Mother Nature a little
Well, we
bit.
still have the trough going over the northern portion of Utah, southeast Idaho, so we need to use a little bit of extra caution. You could still see some strong thunderstorms continuing for the next several hours. Tomorrow should not be a problem, and we'll have the 5-day forecast coming up later on, but still keep an eye to the sky, especially if you live in areas north of Davis County up towards the Cache Valley area. Again, here is earlier video of the tornado in its actual formation stage. You can see it move right across the Salt Lake Valley.
Right
And once again, a
downtown.
tornado that generates...
And you can see
Okay,
it.
describe it to us
We
here.
were actually just doing the shooting, and we looked out and just started seeing all this debris started floating around. And then before that, I wouldn't think it was that big of a deal, but all of a sudden it just seemed to touch down, and then everything started blowing around. And the amazing thing was that there were actually 2 trees that were taken down on the temple's grounds, and we were
that
actually
wind.
able to, not get hurt inside the enclosure there, which was really nice.
What were the, this will be a wedding they'll never forget, no doubt, but
Definitely.
so they just huddled there and you guys all just
Yeah, we
stood
just
there and waited? Wow.
waited for it to pass over. The thing was so incredible was the bride was awesome. As soon as it was gone, and we went over and finished the shoot over across the street and
You're
got some
kidding.
great shots, and she saw a smile on her face. So very, very impressed.
Okay, here's the video. Of course, I'm going to step out just for a minute. Tornado started on the west side of the town around 10th West and 300 South. It was the result of very cold air, unstable air, going across the Salt Lake Valley, and as it dipped, it happened to generate a very quick-moving and rapidly descending cold air funnel. It touched down. It went towards areas of the Delta Center, which you can see right there. Different shots, again, from what he was able to produce. From the Delta Center, not only did it do considerable damage there, it went to the Wyndham Hotel. When it finally reached the Salt Palace, it actually went ahead and, as you obviously have seen in the past, destroyed one of those large tent complexes. And a lot of debris that you see circulating at times in this video is the result of a lot of that tent structure up in the air. By the way, this tornado packed winds of anywhere between 113 to 157 miles per hour. Originally, we thought the width was up to about a half mile wide. Now the estimates are more between around 200 to 300 yards wide. It was classified as an F2, meaning, of course, it could create and cause considerable damage. That's kind of an understatement, isn't it, from what we saw during the past couple of days. Here we are at 3 minutes and counting. You can see the counterclockwise circulation along with the debris. Some of that debris is very, very large, and some of it obviously is what came out of that destruction of the tent facility. It then moved from the Salt Palace going towards a new assembly hall, and obviously destroyed one of the cranes, at least topping it over. From the assembly hall, the path took it towards the state capitol. From the state capitol, it moved up towards the avenues. I might mention that we believe now that it actually lifted off the avenues area around 18th Avenue, and the total span of time was 9 minutes.
Yep.
Look at
Look
that.
at that. Oh, my goodness. Is that right over us
What
right
is
now?
that?
Is that smoke or something? Oh my goodness.
Is that a
Look
tornado?
At that.
It's like
it's a tornado.
Tornado here in Salt Lake City.
At the Delta Center, and we just saw fire erupting at the base of it, whipping right through town. This is a camera. Where's this camera located, you guys? This is the camera on the top of the Beneficial Life Tower building in Salt Lake City. In downtown, we saw a huge burst of flames there a little while ago, and
it
apparently
obviously touched the ground.
that's a tornado that's whipping through town. We're keeping an eye on this. It just came through. We just got this shot up. Kevin, thank goodness you're here. Look at it throwing debris up into the air.
A lot of times those are strong microburst winds that are coming down and creating downdrafts. Now, it doesn't look like I can't see.
Panning the camera now.
Yeah. You bet. It is in some circular motion there, so most definitely.
Well, you can see the flashes of light there, too, as it passes over a certain area.
It's ripping through power lines and stuff like that, too.
Incredible.
Is that any lightning in there, Kevin, or is that just power lines bursting?
All I'm seeing is ground level light, which would assume that they would be power lines or transformers on the ground, but I can't see any lightning in that now.
Kevin, we just heard they're evacuating the Joseph Smith building right now.
Probably because of a fire or something that's happened because of this. It does look like it's swirling a little bit, but it could be a microburst.
It looks like a microburst. Usually when you get into a tornado pattern, which is very, very rare here in Utah, you get that circular, another big flash off of that. So
Sterling Polson's apparently going to come on the air for us right now. Where are you, Sterling?
I am in downtown Salt Lake. You cannot believe what has just happened. A tornado has gone through downtown Salt Lake. It started just southwest of the Delta Center. It has ripped the roof off the Delta Center.
Oh, my goodness.
It has gone into the, I don't know if it's the DoubleTree anymore, but it's the hotel that's right across. Oh, my God. It's right across the street. I can't breathe. The Triad Center, it has now moved. The tornado has now lifting back up in the sky, but it has gone clear across just to the east of the Triad Center, across the parking lot place, by the Genealogical Library, just behind the Genealogical Library. The tornado has now lifted off, but it has done some major damage here in downtown Salt Lake City. The tornado was about, it started about 10 minutes ago. You can see the rotation in the cloud right above downtown Salt Lake, and then a dust cloud started to form just to the south and west of the Delta Center. It went right straight across the Delta Center.
Oh, Sterling, we saw it from our Beneficial Life Tower camera. We could see it moving.
Without warning.
There are several fires we can see now burning in the area.
Yes, there were several explosions as it went just to the, there's construction. Well, it didn't go to the construction of the convention center, but there were certainly some explosions just to the south and west of the Delta Center. This is a major tornado for Salt Lake City. I have never seen anything like it in my life. I'm standing here in the Crossroads parking plaza with a perfect view, but getting poured on, and there's hail and lightning.
Wow.
But I'll tell you guys, this is a very unusual occurrence for Salt Lake City, Utah.
What's going on downtown right now?
Well, right now, people are just standing and looking and wondering what in the world is going on. Traffic is slowing. It looks like the power is on. The semaphores are working. I'm seeing traffic flowing down West Temple here, no problems. But this is just, I'm sure, Third West is probably, there could have been some major injuries or damage there because the tornado went right across Third West from the Delta Center. I can see, I'm looking at the Delta Center now, I can see pieces of the roof laying off on the side of the Delta Center.
Well, Sterling, now you're in the Crossroads Plaza parking lot, right?
Yes, I'm in the parking lot.
In the parking garage, or?
In the parking garage. I'm on the top floor of the parking garage.
So you're safe? Is everything okay there?
I'm safe. I'm safe. The tornado is gone now. The rain shaft is to the north, up in the Bountiful area. It doesn't look like any further tornadic activity, but certainly that was an amazing. I'm just shaking. That was an amazing thing to see.
We can hear it.
Antennas, all the antennas and everything on top of the. I can't see what hotel it is. It's right across from the Delta Center. But looks like possibly some windows are out. Large bolts of lightning now coming down just a couple of blocks to the west of me. But the main storm has moved to the north. But I'll tell you what, I have never seen anything like this in Utah. And that is, by the way, I was a severe storms forecaster for the United States Air Force, and that's the closest I have ever come to an actual tornado.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how close were you when you were describing this in the middle of it? You said you couldn't breathe.
We see huge fires right now, Sterling.
I could not breathe. 1 block away, the air was just sucked right out of you. And had I not been standing in this parking plaza, I would have been in probably quite a bit of danger. But I know a lot of people came out of the visitor center here. A lot of people were standing under the visitor center, looking out of the sky right now, wondering what's going on. But I'm sure a lot of people over by the Delta Center are wondering what hit them, because it came very quickly and has now moved off to the north and east. So
now Sterling, is the trajectory going towards Davis County? Is that where it's headed?
The trajectory was going straight for the Capitol building. The storm itself, the cell, is right over North Salt Lake right now, moving to the northeast. The tornado has gone. The tornado has lifted back into the clouds. There is no longer a danger from tornadoes. But certainly there is a danger for the rest of the afternoon. It looks like more storms will be developing. I thought I might have heard some sirens here just a minute ago. I'm sure I'll hear more.
Yeah, Sterling, we're looking
lightning.
at some video of fires. We see, I mean, this is a live picture. We see some fires that have probably been stemmed from electrical explosions.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I can see reflections now off of the Symphony Hall, off to the south and west of me here. Some blue flame. Certainly, there's going to be some major problems as this tornado caused some. I would say on a scale of the tornadoes, this was probably an F1 or an F2.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, it wasn't a Midwest tornado where you're talking about F4 or F5, but certainly an F2 or an F1 possibility out of this tornado, and it was right here in downtown Salt Lake City. So a very, very unusual occurrence, and I witnessed it right here. I stood here. In fact, I was just coming out of the Crossroads Mall. I bought my wife a birthday card, and I said, "What in the world is the color of that sky?" And I looked up, and you could just see the rotation in the clouds, and then almost instantly you could see the debris and the whatnot coming up from the ground, and it was an amazing. I can hear lots of sirens now, lots of sirens over to the west. I'm sure that they're trying to take care of whatever problems they have over there with that tornado hitting the Delta Center. So,
yeah, we
amazing.
haven't. And it's much too early to know about the extent of injuries or damage out there, so we're going to be monitoring that throughout the afternoon, I'm sure. And incredible timing, Sterling.
Oh, I'll tell you. I couldn't have timed it any better. It just came. I came out, and there it was, and it was just terrifying to see that because you knew that there was going to be some property damage. This was a major tornado for the Utah area. I mean, we probably only get one tornado a year in the state, and they're not of this magnitude.
Okay, already, Sterling, we're getting reports of some minor injuries over at the Delta Center.
Yeah,
people being hit by flying debris, probably. But we don't know about any other areas right now. Is the power on where you're at, Sterling? I imagine a lot of...
Power is on West Temple to the east. The power is on. It looks like the Delta Center power is out. It looks like the Convention Center power is on. I can see lights in the windows there. I'm looking over at the Plaza Hotel, which is right across the street to the north of the Delta Center, or the Symphony Hall, which is the tornado just skirted the edge of that. It looks like the power is on there. I can see a couple of lights with rooms with lights on. So probably Third West, the Delta Center, the power is probably out because I think it ripped out whatever wires were. But that may be all underground. I don't know. But certainly an incredible experience. And it looks like off to the south another storm is starting to brew, but I don't think this one will be any of the severity that one was. Amazing stuff.
Now, out here in West Valley City, where Channel 2 is located, our power has been wavering a little bit too, so there must be some other problems happening around the area as a result of that. Now, also, looking at the sky, do you think that there's any more imminent danger out there? People need to take cover, or what?
Well, I don't know if the National Weather Service has probably now issued a tornado warning, and it will probably go for about 30 minutes. But right now, it does not look like any danger of tornadoes. But as I came into town this morning, I looked at the sky and I said the atmosphere is violent today. And it looks like there's a possibility we could see more tornadic activity developing over the state today. I don't know if that's possible. I'm sure Kevin's had a handle on the satellite and radar, but I would certainly keep my eye to the sky today. If I saw any storms, I would certainly take cover and just plan on the worst and hope for the best.
Okay, now Sterling, I know that we're talking about a lot of damage and possible injuries here, but as a meteorologist, in the years that...
The Twister first touchdown along First Southwest of downtown. It tore through a row of power lines, setting off explosions on transformers along the way. Then it hit the Delta Center, blowing out windows, driving plywood and debris right into the concrete walls. It hit the Delta Center roof, tearing off the roof fabric. 10% of the roof is now gone. You can see the sky from the basketball court. The building is now closed. Crews are inspecting the structure now. Then
this building will be... You don't think it is?
Oh, it's out like a nightclub right there.
Oh, it's dividing.
That's not a little growing.
It's dividing.
Oh my.
This is a fireworks display. Where's Leslie?
Here, do you need to see it?
I don't think I wasn't doing my word. It is. Oh! Wow. Turn the news on.
It's coming.
I know. You guys, that's a tornado. We better get down. I'm scared. Oh my God.
Never seen one like.
Oh, there goes the roof of the Delta Center. Look.
It's tearing the roof off the Delta Center.
Oh my God. Don't you think we should go downstairs?
Oh my God.
Yeah, the key word there. Do you think we should go downstairs
Yeah.
as you sit on the, what, 10th floor of some building across the street,
And that's the
realizing
thing,
it's
you
a
know,
tornado?
Exactly. In Utah, you don't expect to see that,
No.
especially in downtown Salt Lake. We're not trained. I mean, we just don't.
And look at this, and what is this? Why don't you give us
What
your
we're looking at
expertise?
is we're looking at the wall cloud. Wow, where did we get this? This is tremendous. I haven't seen this yet. Oh, gosh. Well, this is our roof camera facing east. That is incredible. This is incredible video. What you're seeing is you're seeing the wall cloud or the underside of a thunderstorm that's coming down. It's forming a funnel. We see the rotation forming. This is tremendous, folks. It's hard to catch this on video, but what we're seeing is we're seeing the funnel starting to form. Again, you can see it poking down from the wall cloud or the underside of the thunderstorm itself. The rotation is starting. Anytime you see this, you're in big trouble. This means the tornado is forming. Again, I guess we're, okay, we were looking on toward the Oakers, and then of course you see all of the transformers. I assume that's what we're seeing being hit here as that funnel came down. Once it touches the ground, that's when it becomes a tornado. But until it touches the ground, we're talking about a funnel cloud. Here's the thunderstorms. Oh gosh, there's the tornado that rolled through the area. Boy, that is amazing. We slow it down for you. You can see, it's hard sometimes to see the tornado because it's clear until it starts to pick up some of that dust, and there's what you were seeing in downtown. It picked up the dust and it swept through, and many times tornadoes last just a few seconds to up to a minute, and they're gone. They're through. And this was an F2 tornado. You can see the debris that was coming back up into the funnel. That's actually what we're seeing with the dark clouds. So a lot of times if it's coming across a clear area, it hasn't picked up any debris yet, you don't know it's coming. But once you start to see the swirl right there, it's picking up the debris in through downtown, popping the transformers, and then off it goes on a northeasterly direction, and it's gone very quickly and can cause a lot of damage. Again, with an F2 tornado, we see winds 113 to 157 miles per hour. Again, I'm not exactly sure what the winds were in this tornado. I believe Henry is on his way to the Weather Service to check this out. But that's very neat that we saw the wall cloud actually forming off over, I believe we're looking off toward the Oakers or off toward the lake. I wasn't in at this time, but boy, that's amazing. When you see that sort of formation, and it's bizarre to see it here too because we've got the mountains that block a lot of our view, and the mountains actually control a lot of our weather. We don't get all the weather ingredients that we do, let's say, out into the plain states when we have some, let's say, straight flat lands where you can really see things forming. So this is pretty unusual.
More spectacular video of those explosions downtown near the Delta Center as the twister touched down. This home video was shot by an Avenues resident as she stood on her balcony watching the twister move toward her home. Well,